Welcome to Zero Production Value Movie Reviews. I'm Eric Hoernke, and today I'm going to be discussing the 1990 film Die Hard 2, directed by Renny Harlin. So, recently I watched the 1970 Best Picture nominee Airport. I did not like it very much. Thought it was long, drawn out, boring. Good cast though. But in any case, what it did make me want to do is go watch Die Hard 2 again, which I hadn't seen in quite some time. Mainly because Airport was sort of a precursor to that Hollywood disaster extravaganza movie that would come to be, that Die Hard would sort of embody later on. But also Die Hard 2 specifically was set in an airport at Christmas time as, you know, these sort of disaster type events were unfolding. So it was a natural transition in my mind. So Die Hard 2 picks up 2 years after the events of the original Die Hard. John McClane, played by Bruce Willis, is now an LA set detective, vice being a New York set detective. He has reestablished relations with his wife. If you remember from the first film, they were kind of on the rocks, which is why he was out in LA and what prompted the events of the first movie in the first place. Now he is in Washington D.C. at Christmas time, awaiting his wife's airplane to come in. They're visiting her parents, I believe. And so while John McClane is waiting, just minding his own business, sitting in the terminal, he begins to notice some shady characters lurking around. When he points these shady characters out to the local constabulary, he doesn't get very much time with them. They pretty much just dismiss him. They're kind of like, "Oh, I remember you, Mr. Hotshot LA detective who did that thing that time. We don't care. It was the airport, Christmas weekend, and ain't nobody got time for that," as it were. So John McClane, in typical John McClane fashion, is forced to cowboy up on his own, which is just the way we like it. We like him out there on the ragged edge, sort of law, but also sort of skirting law, not law. And as we know, he uncovers this terrorist plot. It's terrorists that are infiltrating the airport. And ultimately what they want to do is they want to secure the freedom of this drug lord, kingpin, dictator guy being flown in that night. So they shut down the airport. They set up their own little sort of air control tower thing, and now they're in control of the airport. And John McClane, since his wife is in one of the planes, as he says, "My wife is in one of the planes these guys are messing with, that puts me on the playing field." He's got to run around and basically do exactly what he did in the first movie, which is save his wife from terrorists. The cast here is pretty good. We get Fred Thompson, the dearly deceased Fred Thompson, with his gravitas as the head of the airport. We got Dennis Franz chewing up scenery as the head of the police officers at the airport. And then obviously John McClane as Bruce Willis. We get early Robert Patrick as one of the terrorists, and William Sadler as one of the terrorists. So this film does a good job of keeping the tension high, keeping the action moving. The action set pieces are really good. I think actually living up to the action of the first film. They got that iconic, as he's pulling the eject lever in the plane as it blows up and you get the shot from above. He's like, "Oh," and he's flying up and then falls back down. And then the final action set piece when he basically kills all the terrorists. Big surprise there. I don't think I'm really doing too much of a spoiler alert there. Kills all the terrorists. That's a pretty amazing action set piece as well. If this film has one major detractor, it is the completely repetitive, derivative nature of the plot. This is very much the same movie as the original Die Hard, just now set in an airport in a different location. We took terrorists contained in a building. He has to save his wife. 2 terrorists contained in an airport. He has to save his wife. So along with that, the humor in the first film was very well done. He had, John McClane is that snappy one-liner guy. Even despite the danger of the situation, he's like, I'm just going to throw out these one-liners like they're candy. You can pick them up, pop them in your mouth, and they taste so sweet. In this movie, they feel a bit more, everything feels a bit more forced, like they're trying to live up to what they did in the first movie. And also, in this day and age, the humor feels a bit more juvenile, like male potty humor kind of juvenile. It's not horrible, but it's noticeable, shall we say. The movie does do a wonderful job of living up to the Die Hard moniker, which is, I think, is one of the things we love about John McClane and we love about this movie franchise, is that they beat the hell out of this guy. He is far from one of those action heroes who comes through like completely unscathed or with like maybe like a little scar. Like, he gets broken, beaten, blown up, shot, burned, you name it. And he gets progressively worse and worse throughout the entire course of the movie. But then by the end, we know he's gonna, in various scenes, progressive scenes, he's gonna get beaten down, but he's gonna just either get away or manage to kill the terrorists in the scene. He's just gonna manage to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat, each and every time. Which is really how we want heroes to exist in these larger-than-life narratives, right? It's like all the odds are weighed against them. They pull out that victory in grand, explosive fashion, and we're all happy and we cheer, and it's a great moment. So this film is a hell of a good time. It just subsists too much on what the first film did, right? So ultimately, I would give Die Hard 2 a B. Thanks for watching. I love you. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching my movie review. I enjoyed making it. My name's Eric Hoernke, rhymes with turnkey. This has been a production of Zero Value.